All right, Shalom. I'm thankful and I'm grateful to be able to come out here once again to preach and to prophesy unto my people, being you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And according to the Holy Bible, you are the biblical Israelites. This is based off of your father's paternal line. It's about agnet and paternal relations that determines whether or not you are an Israelite. This is not a so-called black or white thing. Mingling those two shades together, you get gray, and there are no gray areas in this ministry. All right? I also come out here to preach and to prophesy unto you other nations, seeing that our people have been dispersed all throughout the earth. So we look like all nations under the sun. All right? That sun is really bright, so it's hard for me to see my camera right now. But before I get started, as always, I have to give all thanks and praises unto our power, the power of Israel, not the power of any other nation. And what's his name? Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Arakakodash. Peace, blessings, much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like, pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons and daughters also. And the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. That sun is so bright that the screen on my phone looks black. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 12. The time is come, the day draweth near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. For the seller shall not return to that which is sold. All day they were not yet alive, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. So trouble is coming, and the trouble that's coming is going to affect everybody on earth. Whether you're in this truth or outside of this truth, we are going to experience a time on earth like never before. That's why it's important that we have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because anyone who does not, they don't have a chance when it comes to the society collapsing, all hell breaking loose. You got famines coming, you got race wars coming, you have different diseases and sicknesses coming to the earth. You have a lot of sickos that are going to be unleashed on the masses of people, women and men, and children even. And when I say children, I mean sons and daughters out here being ravished. These are the times coming to America. These are the times coming to the world. Trouble is near. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has called us to come out here to warn you of such things. Amos chapter 6 and verse 3. Ye put far away the evil day and cause the seat of violence to come near. So if you're putting off the evil day, a lot of that comes with being distracted by this world. Being distracted by whether it be women, whether it be money, whether it be trying to keep a certain position in this world. There are many things that can distract you and have you in the spirit of wanting to put the evil day off from day to day. But these days are definitely going to come. These days are not going to keep on tarrying. You might think that because we constantly come out here and we say the same things over and over again, that there's no way these things are going to happen. Because we sound like, like back in the days when you had a CD disc, you'd put a certain song on repeat or a broken record. it starts to skip and it says the same thing over and over and over again. Well, seeing that we come out here and we repeat the same things over and over again, it may cause many to lose interest and not believe what we say. Just because we say a lot of the same things, how does that not validate the message? If anything, that should more validate our message, the fact that we're not changing anything up. And just like with food, we're feeding you this word. You might have had chicken last week. You might have had chicken 3 times this week. Okay, but within that chicken being used, it was in 3 different meals. One of your meals might have been like a fancy chicken noodle soup. Another day you might have had fried chicken. Another day you might have had chicken in your salad. So we might say the same thing, we might word it differently, but does it take away that it's still food? Does it take away that you're still being fed, regardless of how many times you may eat an item? It's still food. You can't say, well, I ate some chicken last week, I don't want nothing to do with chicken this week, which is fine. But at the end of the day, because of you eating some of the same things repeatedly, doesn't take away that it's food. We say the same things over and over again. It doesn't take away the message. It doesn't take away the validation. Okay? Ye that put far away the evil day and cause the seat of violence to come near. And that's a lot of our people. A lot of our people, because they're doing good in this society, or because they feel like they're doing good, they're comfortable in their own mind, they'll put off the evil day. They don't want to talk about these things. They don't want to consider what we're talking about because they might have been paid off. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So people being bought off, people taking bribes, that can destroy their mind. That can blind their eyes because of bribery. Bribery can have you doing things that are not convenient in the spirit. But we, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, we understand that we need help. We need a savior. We are in captivity. And regardless of how decent your life may be, what kind of job you may work, what kind of money you may have, we've been given the eyes to see that this is not our rest. We need help. And where we are presently is just for the moment. This is just momentarily. But the time's going to come where this whole kingdom known as America is going to be destroyed off the face of the map. So it's time for you Israelites to depart from this place spiritually, because this place was not set up for your prosperity. Now you have the perception of prosperity, and that's why a lot of you Israelites forget that you are oppressed. You forget about your brother and your sister next to you because you have the mentality of being selfish. Okay, we can't have a selfish mentality being in this ministry. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So if you're a wise man, if you're a learned man, if you're skillful with this word, oppression is going to offend you. But you'll also understand why you are being oppressed. And the reason why you are being oppressed is because we are being punished, and this is not our time. This is not our rest. Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So this society is totally corrupt. This society is full of sorrow, it's full of destruction, it's full of lies and deceit, it's full of injustice, it's full of mistreatment, it's full of a lot of things that are crooked. This society is not straight. That's why it's going to be destroyed, because that's the only remedy for such a kingdom known as America, is for it to be destroyed off the face of the map. Sirach, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11 and verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. So many of our people, they don't want to think about how our ancestors were slaves. Not only do they not want to think about it, they don't even want to consider those were us. Those same people who were enslaved were not only our forefathers and foremothers, they were us. Okay, we were back then, and here we are back now in this current time. But because of the inconveniences, then you'll ponder and say, well, there has to be another way. But if you're an idiot, inconveniences aren't going to matter to you. But if you're constantly being fed convenience, you're doing good in this society, you feel like you're prospering, you don't want to hear about oppression. You don't want to hear about what your people are dealing with. You don't want to think about what you used to deal with, because in your mind, well, if I think negative, it's going to bring me negative. But in reality, it's just a selfish mentality, because many Israelites only care about themselves. So seeing that prosperity, or what our people think as prosperity, has blinded our people, it has caused them to put off the evil day. It has caused them to not want to be who they really are. Their true identity being the biblical Israelites that the Bible is speaking of. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. So let's go back to Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. But our people, they don't want to focus on that. They don't want to focus on how America's not our rest. They want to focus on prosperity, how to do better, how to accumulate more money, how to accumulate more women, how to accumulate more followers, and how to gain clout, how to be one of the richest people on earth. These are things that people think about. And because the physical shackles and chains have been released off of our people, they really feel like, okay, I have every opportunity to prosper and be the best that I can be. Not even understanding that we have prosperity coming. We have true prosperity coming through salvation. All right? And it's very close. Let's go to Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So if our salvation is nearer than when we believe, we also understand that trouble is nearer than what we believe. Because before we can receive that salvation, we have to witness the end of this society. We have to witness a collapse. We have to witness various prophecies that have to come to pass. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time, or now it is surely time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So if salvation is near, destruction would have to be near. And before we can receive salvation, we have to witness a lot of destruction coming. The great day of the Lord is going to be a great time with destruction, and then ultimately the deliverance of the elect will also be seen, but destruction comes first. Zephaniah chapter 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord is near. and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. So the days are going to be so great, the Lord is going to flex so much that even men who claim to be mighty men who claim to be men of honor, men of renown, men of strength and skill, are going to fear and be like women when the great day of the Lord is to approach. That day is a day of wrath and a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither shall their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord Yahweh's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So the Lord is going to completely destroy Babylon. And all those who are left on this land, when that destruction comes, they're going to be completely destroyed. They're going to be completely wiped off the face of the map. Okay? That's the great day of the Lord. But if your mind is focused on prosperity and trying to get the bag, you're trying to accumulate in this life, which as a man, it's not even that there's anything wrong with that. But you're not in the time for that. You are in punishment. You were brought here to suffer. Now that doesn't mean you can't do okay for yourself. That doesn't mean you're not supposed to handle your business. But we're not here to be the next LeBron James. We're not here to be the next Michael Jordan or the next Lil Wayne or the next Drake or the next biggest doctor or lawyer. We're here to suffer our punishment through patience and serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai to the best of our ability in the process. Okay? Job chapter 36 and verse 18. Because there is wrath, beware, lest he take thee away with his stroke. Then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. Will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength. So money is not going to save our people in these times. The only thing that's going to save our people is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right? Let's go back to Zephaniah chapter 1 and 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. So you're not going to be able to pay off the Lord. Okay? No matter how wealthy you think you are, you're not going to pay off the Lord. The author of riches, the author of beauty, the author of everything that we know and don't know. How could you pay him off? You created riches. How could somebody pay you off? Right? You created beauty. How could a woman with a fat ass make you change your mind? The Lord is going to do all that he said he was going to do. And if you're offended by that, oh well, you're either going to repent as an Israelite or you're going to be put down. And that's just what it comes down to. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land, speaking of America, shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. Speaking of nuclear fire and the fire from the thunderbolts, the chariots will be shooting. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So going right back to Job 36 and 18, because money's not going to deliver you. Because there is wrath, beware, lest he take thee away with his stroke. Then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. Will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength. The only thing that's going to deliver you is you to repent and turn back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And if you're of the elect, that's going to be your story. Let's go to the Apocrypha, which is part of the King James Bible, which is also a part of the Old Testament. This is Judith chapter 9 and verse 14. And make every nation and tribe to acknowledge that thou art the power of all power and might, and that there is none other that protected the people of Israel but thou. So the only protection that we have is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. No money, no strength is going to deliver you from the fierce anger of the Lord. It's not going to deliver you from all the things that the Lord has set up for his enemies. The only way out of this is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Period, point blank. Let's read that again. Judith 9 and 14. And make every nation and tribe to acknowledge that thou art the power of all power and might, and that there is none other that protected the people of Israel but thou. So you brothers and sisters out there, that's our protection. There's nothing wrong with you, collecting gold and silver. You might be in the Bitcoin. You might be in the various avenues, but at the end of the day, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is the only way out. Nothing wrong with storing up food. Nothing wrong with, having money put up. In fact, all of these things are actually wise to do. But what's not wise is to put your hope and your confidence into these things. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to be who delivers us and no one else. All right? Psalms chapter 34 and verse 17. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. So who's going to be the one to deliver us? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Not gold, not silver, not your strength, not having a whole bunch of beautiful women lined up. Okay? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to be the one to deliver us from all that's coming. And all of you non-believers, all you scoffers and scorners, all you spies and agents, the Lord's going to kill you. All right? He's not going to deliver you or your family. And that's what it is. Psalms 34 and 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. So the Lord is going to deliver us out of everything, not gold and silver. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. So the Lord is our Redeemer. The Lord is our protection, our safety, our money, our strength. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is our weapon, our confidence, our courage. Okay, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is all these things for us. So as long as we keep going, we keep fighting, we keep faith, anticipate on what's to come, do what we have to do, be brotherly and all these things, watch what the Lord does for you. Watch what the Lord does for us. And he's going to do many great things. He's going to do an innumerable of great things in the sight of the world to see. Let's go to Psalms. Matter of fact, let's close out of Psalms. Let's go to Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 35. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which hath a great recompense of reward. So we can't cast away our confidence, knowing that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to be the one to protect us. That should be our confidence, knowing that Although you may not be rich, you may not have all your heart's desires, those things are not going to deliver you anyway. Our deliverance is going to come through our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai. Okay? Yahweh and Yahweh Shai is our way out of here. Nothing else. And many great evils, many great trials and tribulations are coming to the earth. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. All right? So we have to have that boldness. We have to be fully assured that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to guide and protect his men. Let's stay in Hebrews. Chapter 4 and verse 16. Let us therefore come boldly or confident unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. And that's what it's about. Okay? Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. So we have to come boldly. We have to come confident when we come and serve the Lord. We can't waver or doubt, because without faith, it's impossible to please Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And I'm very confident and faithful that so be we keep fighting, the Lord is going to deliver us. I believe that. I don't doubt that. That we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. So in the time of need, he's going to help those who are of his. There are those who are set up to receive grace. Romans chapter 11 and verse 5. Even so then at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. So even at this present time, there is a remnant according to the election of grace. And we hope to be a part of that, which is why we should keep our confidence. 1 John chapter 2. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 28. And now, little children, abide in him, that when he shall appear, we may have confidence and not be ashamed before him at his coming. All right? So we have to abide in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, so that when he does return, we can be confident. That's what this is about. We have to put on the elect, put on as the elect. We have to make our calling and our election sure, so that we can remain confident and so that we can remain bold in front of the eyes of all these non-believers who would love to see us stop doing what we're doing. All right? I've seen a couple of clouds out here that look like chariots, and the one that I was particularly looking at, it's gone. But there's one across the street. It kind of makes me think like it could be a chariot. But the one that I wanted to show, but I hesitated on it, it's gone. But it looked like it could have been a chariot cloaked as a cloud. And we know that according to Psalms 104 and 3, that he makes the clouds his chariots. And we also know that not all chariots have to be the shape of a disc. They have many various forms. It's more common to think of a disc-shaped chariot. I had saw a cloud, if it wasn't the last time that I taught, maybe the time before. But it almost looked like it was a planet. It looked like it was like a huge ball, and it had like a ring around it. And it also made me think about the scriptures where I think John, he had saw the throne, or basically he had saw a chariot with the rainbow ring around it. And that's what that looked like to me. It looked like a gigantic planet with the ring around it, cloaked as a chariot. But who knows, man? Maybe it was a chariot. Maybe it was a cloud. Who knows? But these are things that, we are to pay attention to, keep our eyes open, our spiritual eyes open. And now, little children, abide in him, that when he shall appear, we may have confidence and not be ashamed before him at his coming. And the coming of Yahweh Shai is coming quickly. And that's why we have to be ready. Okay? Matthew 26 and verse 26. And as they were eating, Yahweh Shai took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body. Or take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks, and he gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it anew with you in my Father's kingdom. And when they had sung an hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives. So it said they sung hymns afterwards, showing you they liked music. Just like a lot of brothers today, we like music, man. Brothers are into music. Our people in general are into music. But the point I wanted to reference, Yahweh Shai is our food. Yahweh Shai is our drink. This word is what we're eating. And Yahweh Shai himself, he is the word. But we're coming into a time where this word is going to be removed off the street corners. Okay? Let's go back to the point. Matthew 26 and 26. And as they were eating, Yahweh Shai took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body. So it wasn't speaking of actually performing cannibalism, but spiritually, Yahweh Shai is our bread. He's our food. He's our drink. Just like with our physical body, what does it need to thrive? What does it need to have life? To sustain it? It needs food and it needs drink. Well, our spirit also needs food and drink. And our food and drink is Yahweh Shai. So when you're consuming this word, you're spiritually consuming Yahweh Shai. All right? But the time's going to come where the food that we're feeding is going to be removed. Amos chapter 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And remember, Yahweh Shai is the word. He's that spiritual food. And it's going to come to a point where the words that we're speaking are going to be removed off the street corners. You'll be looking for us in that day, but in that day, it will be far too late. Hosea 5 and 15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. And that's how rebellious our people are. They'll seek the Lord once it's too late. They'll want the food once it's too late. This spiritual food that we're feeding you. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the power. So we're not living off bread alone. Most people, that's all they eat. All they eat is physical bread. All they drink is physical water. But they're not consuming themselves with the words of the Heavenly Father. They're not consuming themselves with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai's doctrine, the ways of the Lord. And that's why eventually the Lord is going to completely remove this spiritual feet He's going to spiritually remove the spiritual food. And then once that happens, you're not going to be seeing brothers posting up feeds. You're not going to see brothers posting up videos. You're not going to see brothers coming out here in the open in front of the eyes of all these non-believers proclaiming this truth, because by that point, this word is closed up. The Lord's business at that point is going to be closed. Now, once it's closed, does that mean no one else can come in? Not necessarily. But we're not going to be out here teaching. We're not going to be loading videos up online once the famine of the word starts. And Yahweh Shai being the word, he's that spiritual food. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So the storehouses are going to be found empty. Friends are going to fight amongst each other like enemies. Why? For the lack of bread, for the lack of food, the lack of water. And when these things come to pass, then you'll say to yourself, oh, that guy that was saying these things, or really those men who were saying those things, they were actually telling us the truth. We didn't want to believe them. Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there has been a prophet among them. So when you see these prophecies come to pass, all the things that we're talking about actually happen, then you'll say, oh, he was telling the truth. This guy was right. He wasn't lying. He wasn't making things up. He meant what he said. The Lord must really be with that man. But once that happens, for a lot of you, it's too late. Don't expect us to go into any breakdowns or explain nothing to you. It's going to be a very dangerous time anyway. We're not going to be out here doing this. We're going to be on the move ourselves. And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their lucks, though they be a rebellious house. And thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. And what we're eating, we're feeding you. But a lot of our people don't want to be fed this. That's why a famine of the word is not only coming, but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to bring an actual famine. All right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. See, right now, people have an abundance of, and when I say an abundance, you know, not everybody's doing so good, but people have an abundance of things compared to what's coming. See, right now, you'll eat some food, then you'll get full, and you might end up throwing it away. But in the times to come, you're going to have to eat little by little. You might have, you know, some purified bottled water. You might drink some of your water, not even finish the bottle. You end up pouring the rest out because it was sitting around, or you might give it to your dog. Well, in the times to come, you're going to keep and savor every drop, because as society is right now, how you can just go to a fast food restaurant, you can go to your grocery store. It's not going to be like that in the future, in the near future at that. This isn't something that's, a far off 200, 300, 400 years, man. This is very close. In fact, so close that it's nearer than what you believe. Luke chapter 12. Luke chapter 12 and 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And you have a lot of rich people. They're preparing for what's to come. You have a lot of men and women preparing for what's to come. Doomsday prepping, as you would call it. But the reality is, if you're not of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, you're doing all that in vain. You're really doing all that for someone else to take over. Okay? And it's crazy, that cloud I just shown you, it's gone. Luke 12 and 16, and he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? It's like, look, I got so much stuff, I'm running out of space to put it. Scratch your head, you think, okay, what should I do? You build more. You might have to tear some things down and build back better. Like the saying goes, right? And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods, laid up for many years. Take thine ease and eat, drink, and be merry. Kind of like the Canadian prepper. He's all prepped up. In his mind, he all ready to go. Little does he know, he's doing all that in vain. Let me go back. But the power said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then those things be which thou hast provided. Let me read this again, Luke 12 and 20. But the power said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? It will be somebody else's. Because a lot of these doomsday preppers are going to be dead. So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward the power. So you might be rich with food and water. You might have an excessive amount of things, an abundant amount of things. But if Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is not your protection, you're only doing that for someone else to take over. All right? Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat. And some of the things will be eaten. Maybe some food that we found at a place where somebody was doomsday prepping. And not only are they not home, they're not even alive. Right? Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Luke chapter 6 and verse 25. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. So the Lord's servants are going to eat. The rest of you people, all of those outside of that, hey, it's not going to go well for you. There ain't no such thing as good luck. It's all about the Lord's will. Either the Lord's with you or the Lord is against you. And there's a higher chance that the Lord is against you, seeing that more people are actually going to be destroyed compared to those who are going to be saved. But let's go forward. Sirach, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, and verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? And whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So the elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua are going to eat. Nothing to worry about. Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 17. And the Lord power, the Lord power, behold, thou hast made the heaven and the earth by thy great power, and stretched out arm, and there is nothing too hard for thee. So there is nothing too hard for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So when there's a famine, when there's a lack of food, when there's a lack of water, when there's a lack of things that you need, a lack of necessities, it's not too hard for the Lord to come through for you. All we have to do is keep on doing what we're doing. Keep on believing. Keep hope alive, man. And watch the works of the Lord work before you. Miraculous works. Things that we've never seen. Things that would seem impossible, but not to our power. Luke chapter 1 and verse 37. For with the power, nothing shall be called impossible. So with the power, nothing shall be called impossible. You might be a woman who's barren. If the Lord wanted you to have children, he'll give you children. You might be someone who doesn't have good vision. You might be handicapped. You might be someone who's kind of slow with your understanding. Not even just with the Bible, you're just slow in the mind. It's just you with everything. It's not impossible for the Lord to clean that up. It's not impossible for the Lord to change your situation. With man, the impossible is impossible. But with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, all things are possible. There's no such thing as impossible with the Lord. In fact, impossible is not even in the Lord's vocabulary. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. And we have faith that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to feed us. He's going to protect us. He's going to be down to get us through whatever obstacles, whatever adverse situations that we find ourselves in, that he's going to pull us through. For we walk by faith and not by sight. And that's what it's about. 1 Peter's chapter 1 Okay, 1 Peter's chapter 4 and verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? So if the elect are barely going to make it, for example, you might catch yourself in one situation after another, and every time the Lord pulls you through it. But every time you're in a situation, it damn near seems like it might be your last situation. And then ultimately, when the missiles get shot off and they detonate and that nuclear wind comes, that nuclear wave might be coming right towards you. And right when it's about to melt you, The Lord slows down time and delivers you up out of here. The elect are hardly going to make it is the point. So if we're hardly going to make it, what does that say about all these Israelites who aren't even trying? What does that say about our people who reject and despise this word? They don't even care. They don't want to care. They don't attempt. They don't even care to give a half a care, man. They're just careless. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? They're going to appear being destroyed. Job chapter 19. Job chapter 19 and verse 20. My bone cleaveth to my skin and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. So Job, he saw himself in the future. And what does that tell you? Whoever Job is, he's on earth right now. And he obviously had a vision of all hell breaking loose. He may have saw a vision of getting delivered up out of here when the missiles got shut off. He may have saw a vision where he was on the run, and right when whoever was chasing him surrounded him, maybe an angel came and pulled him through a portal and brought him somewhere else. Either way it goes, we're going to go through a lot of adverse moments, but we're still going to get through it, even if it feels like, how? How are we going to get through this? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is how. Even if it feels impossible, the Lord is going to pull his elect through, male or female. My bone cleaveth to my skin and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity upon me. Have pity upon me, O ye my friends, for the hand of God had touched me. And when Job was catching that hell, his friends was not comforting him whatsoever. In reality, his friends had the spirit of Satan on them. Okay? But that was also a part of Job's test. Revelations chapter 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So enduring, the Lord is going to keep us from the hour of temptation. And part of enduring is you might be in a position where you haven't eaten in a couple days. You haven't drank any water in a couple of days. You don't know how you're going to eat, how you're going to drink. Then on top of that, Esau may come roll up on you, put cuffs on you, or however he does it, takes you to a concentration camp, and you're hungry on top of that. And now they're trying to bribe you like, look, we'll feed you, we'll give you food. All you have to do is take the mark of the beast. Whatever they call it. All you have to do is take this chip. If you want to eat, that's all you got to do. Hey, if you don't want to die, all you have to do is take this chip. Well, a lot of people will give in. How much harder when you're hungry and your body's weak? That's why the importance of serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is very crucial, because that is our strength that is going to pull us through in times of need. And times are going to be very difficult in the future to come, but the Lord is going to be with his. Okay? So as long as we endure, keep doing this work during the hour of temptation, we don't got nothing to worry about. A part of your temptation may be going to the guillotine. Revelations 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushai, and for the word of the power, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received the mark upon their foreheads and in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahushai Mashiach 1,000 years. So some of us may be faced with death. Well, that's a part of the temptation. The hour of temptation could be you not eating. The hour of temptation could be you don't know where the hell you are. You don't know how you're gonna eat. You don't know what the hell's going on. You just know you're on the run. You're just trying to stay alive. You're trying to stay out of the tight grip of the devil. So it's like, man, I'm just literally going by faith, not by sight. Well, the reason why we fight and go through the things that we go through now is so that the Lord will have our backs in the times to come. We're consuming this food now so that the Lord doesn't starve us out with the rest of the world. Okay? And that sounds to a lot of people intimidating to know that some of us may have to be beheaded. Let's go to Matthew's chapter 5 and verse 29. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. So it's better that you lose your head than for you to get thrown into the lake of fire. All right? Let's end it with Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 22. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good. So this wisdom is all those things. And the main thing I want to bring out is manifold. You know, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is manifold. So it's better for you to lose your head, if that's what you have to do, than for your whole body to be thrown into the lake of fire. All right? So verse 24, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power and a pure influence, flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. So you have to be pure. You have to have a pure mind in this ministry, serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Because many men, sounds like that 50 Cent song, many men are sanctioned to be destroyed in comparison into the men who are going to be delivered. And that's just how the Lord set it up. That's just what it is. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. You know what? I'm at 50. I'm not even at an hour yet. I can pull out one more. It won't hurt. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. So that's what this is about. We have to endure until the end, and the same shall be saved. Enduring doesn't stop when you go to sleep at night. Enduring is not going to stop when the famine of the word comes. Enduring is all the way up until you either die or you're changed when them chariots return and deliver you, man. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep doing what we have to do in the spirit. We have to keep that hope alive, so to speak. We have to stay encouraged. We have to stay ready. We have to stay confident. We have to stay bold. Okay? But he that shall endure until the end, so you have to remain. So when Yahweh Shai returns, you have to remain in the faith. when he returns and you're in the world, you done took the chip, you done lost hope, you stopped teaching the word before your time came, that doesn't mean you remained. In fact, that means you dropped out. That means you didn't make it. But he that shall endure or remain until the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So Tawada Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai for giving us this word, man. And through this word going out all throughout the world, the end is coming. And that's why Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai gave us the internet. Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. So this word is going all throughout the earth, and the internet is really helping that happen. Because once this word goes throughout the whole world, then shall the end come. And we're even closer now, more than ever. That's why I read earlier in Romans 13 and 11 that salvation is nearer than what we believe. All right? So I'm going to close it there and give all thanks and praises unto our power, the power of Israel, not the power of any other nation. And what is his name? Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Wa'Rakakwadash. Lord willing, that was simple and edifying. Until next time, Shalom.